Hey, what up, everybody? It's Nino. I'm doing a quick reaction video, ladies and gentlemen, to a certain situation that's been played out over the last year or two on the internet. And I'm going to be completely honest, y'all. I don't have like the most time to give a complete, thorough breakdown, but I'm going to leave a link to the video down here in the description, and you can check out the case for yourself. It's pretty interesting, y'all. I feel like I can give my point of view on this, or at least my reaction, because first of all, it's a free country. Second of all, I've been following Tony the Wizard, for a very long time. It's a public issue. It's the court records have been released. It's a YouTube issue, and I'm a YouTuber. So with saying that, I'm gonna get down to this video and the reaction to Tony the Wizard, right? Going on American Cholo's podcast and discussing the rape case. Tony the Wizard was basically a Hispanic male from California, Wilmington to be exact. He was first involved with Dr. Dre and the NWA crew back when they were at the Rhodium swap meet. It was in California. This guy was instrumental in the career of Dr. Dre and NWA. He was there from the beginning. He DJ'd for them. He had a lot to do with this particular group, NWA. Now he has a channel called Rhodium Radio, and he interviews up and coming predominantly Latino or Hispanic rap artists and all kinds of people, you know, that deal with the music and that culture. Basically, what had happened, this guy made it a YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen, right? This is all off the top, everybody. Tony made a YouTube channel. He was basically putting together some kind of a documentary about the Rhodium. He turned it into a YouTube channel. And what this guy ended up doing was continuing the YouTube channel because it was very successful. And I watched some of his beginning episodes. I liked some of it. It was pretty interesting, to say the least. A lot of historical guests and pretty good content, to say the least. Then he started doing a show dealing with the supernatural, like a spooky show. And I was a follower from the very beginning on that one too. But to be honest, this is just a quick take on that. It just got a little bit too weird with the supernatural stuff, y'all. And I'm a Christian, and I just believe in some doors are not meant to be opened or entertained. And I'm not saying he was too weird or wicked, but just for me, it just kind of went off in the far end, and I didn't want to watch it no longer. But I was a fan from the beginning of his show called Freaky Tales. It would come out every Friday, and he still does it. Salute him. It's just not my cup of tea at this point. Every now and then I do check on there, see if he has any good content, but I don't follow along like I used to. I'm gonna be completely honest, ladies and gentlemen. This guy had his channel going, doing very good, having pretty good numbers. I would watch some of his shows. All of a sudden, it seemed that this guy was hit out of nowhere with the rape allegation. What happened was a female that he dealt with from the interview with American Cholo. He dealt with her from almost the very beginning of his career in the Rhodium Radio channel. I think from episode 5 on up, she was involved. I think he said I think she was there on about 7 episodes. He said that he remembered her being there. He said she was basically like, you know, trying to use him to get on. The whole deal is this. The woman came out with allegations that Tony raped her, him, his son, and also another gentleman that was his cameraman. I forgot his full name, y'all, but he's no longer with Tony. But she claims these 3 men raped her on the couch in his studio where he films the Rhodium Radio podcast. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm gonna be very honest. When someone comes at you with the rape allegation, it's a pretty messed up situation. If they're lying or telling the truth, whatever it is, I'm gonna tell you something. If someone comes at you with the rape case, that's something that's very hard to shake from the public eye, no matter what you try to do. And I'm just being completely honest, looking at it from the outside in. When I heard that he was charged with rape, that's the first thing you hear, right? He was charged with rape, right? He explains it better on the American Cholo podcast. But when I heard he was charged with rape, and this girl came out making videos accusing Tony of doing this, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Part of me wanted to believe her, and I probably somewhat did believe her. I even had a certain mindset about Tony from that point on, y'all. And I'm just being completely honest. I'm not trying to sit there and be a hater and say, oh, I believed her, Tony, you're a rapist. I'm just saying, when a woman comes out with allegations like that, it can be damaging, very damaging to a career of any man, right? So I'm gonna admit, when she first came out with these allegations, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I completely believed her, But I started to cast doubt upon Tony and his whole situation. You know what I'm saying? With her coming out with the video, making videos, making posts about this guy, y'all, it really threw me for a loop. And to be honest, I kind of laid off of his show and everything. And he even talks about it on the interview that a lot of people canceled their interviews with Tony A to come onto the Rhodium Radio podcast due to these allegations. This woman came with very strong allegations against him and his son and against the cameraman, right? To be honest, it was very vulgar what she was saying. She was very in depth about it. It was pretty shocking to say the least when I first heard about it. To be completely honest, Tony A don't know me. I'm just a guy from the outside looking in. I would check out his podcast from the very beginning, even to the Scary Show podcast. And hey, I was a fan, you know, and it really was a negative mark when she came out and said this about him. You know, to be honest, I'm a dude from the hood, whatever, right? I could see this happening. Basically, a woman coming out with allegations and men taking advantage, not really raping or nothing like that, right? But a loose woman around a bunch of men, it's just a recipe for disaster from the onset, from what I thought was happening. Now, Tony A goes through and explains, you know, there was a lot of people there that day that she claimed. He explains it thoroughly, so I give it to him. But like I said, back to my point, once you get hit with these allegations, it's devastating. I'm just a regular guy in West Texas watching his show, and when she came out giving this allegation against him and his son, right? How sad. It hit me. And I had doubt of Tony A, y'all. And like I said, that's just part of being accused of rape. For some reason, when someone does that to somebody, y'all, especially if you're not a rape expert or you're just a regular person like me, a woman comes out and says that about somebody, do you blame me for kind of believing her, right? I'm being honest. I'm not trying to be biased against Tony or having a dog in the fight, but when she came out with this stuff, y'all, I somewhat believed her. So this went on, I believe, for, I want to say over a year until she actually reported it. I might be wrong with the actual numbers. I want to do a better in-depth analysis of all this. But again, like I said, I'll leave the video in the description and you can judge for yourself. Tony A goes on American Cholo's podcast and explains everything. But before I get to that point, y'all, check it out. So the woman alleges this. She doesn't go to the police right after or within a month. I don't even think within a couple of months. So that's kind of fishy on her part. But hey, again, I don't know about rape victims. I don't know about nothing about that. So again, the woman alleges the rape happens. Tony A gets into a bunch of drama, ladies and gentlemen, with some rappers, Hispanic rappers. They have a falling out, and there's videos of Tony A threatening these guys, you know, and I say threatening, I'll just say basically, you know, challenging to a fight, come on down and handle it like men. A lot of stuff happened in between from when this woman made this video to now. And I'm going to be completely honest, y'all. I watched a lot of this, right? A lot of people did. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. There's a lot of drama that happened in this whole situation. But that's for a whole nother video. I'm not trying to go too much into that stuff, y'all. I'm just saying, once this woman made these allegations, I'm going to be completely honest. It was basically a negative mark for Tony in my mind. I'm going to be honest. It was a turnoff from watching his programs or his content. It's like a shadow upon the guy. That's just me being completely honest. That's what I'm saying. When a woman makes these kind of allegations towards somebody, it's very serious and it's very devastating to someone's career. American Cholo even said, you know, some people are always going to believe her. Some people are always going to think that he did this. It's just how people are. But again, let's get back to the subject. So she alleges he raped her. Tony A, I could tell watching his videos, even one time he had a guy named Cujo on there, and this guy was a rapper, or is a rapper. He got drunk at the end of one of the videos. He was getting belligerent, and he started saying some things, y'all, and I even caught that. I think a lot of people caught that, but Tony A basically said, hey, you're saying this stuff. You're giving more fuel for you know who. I kind of caught that. I might be wrong, but I'm just saying there was a shadow, I believe, upon his show. I might be wrong, but that's what I think, y'all. And I even think that Cujo, that rapper, correct me if I'm wrong. If someone's watching and thinks I'm wrong, let me know. But I think there's a certain point where he says some things that really pissed off Tony A when they were recording. And to be honest, y'all, any regular man that has that kind of allegation against him is going to be very upset and pissed off. And I think it would affect somebody and it would be on their mind while they're working and trying to make content. So I digress. You could just tell that it was on Tony's mind heavy, I believe, and I wouldn't blame him, right? So again, the whole thing happens. I think it goes on over a year. They go to civil court. So this is what happens. Fast forward now. Tony A just got out of court. He goes on to American Cholo's podcast. That's another YouTuber, Trump hater. You know, I ain't gonna talk too much bad about the guy, but I'm not a big fan of American Cholo due to his anti-Trump stance. It's his free speech, his platform, whatever. I used to subscribe to his channel. I unsubscribed. I kind of don't like the guy. He's real disrespectful to Trump. And you know, I'm a Trumper. It is what it is. American Cholo is another Hispanic channel from California. And there's been an uprise of Hispanic channels from that side, from Cali, y'all, coming up in the game. And this guy's like at 40, 50,000 subscribers, doing pretty good. And again, there's a couple of people out from that area that are making moves, and it's undeniable. Again, I'm not a fan of American Cholo due to the political stance, but I'm gonna say this. I give American Cholo, Gil, I give him props because he has stood against SPM, had the paperwork out there, did videos on it. He's a pretty rock solid, hardworking individual. We just don't agree politically, but he had Tony A on there. He asked him certain questions on the podcast I just seen. American Cholo does get my respect as far as being, you know, a very good journalist, being a good host on his podcast. I can't do nothing but speak well about the guy. Besides the politics, we can agree to disagree, but I tip my hat to Gil from American Cholo. He looks like a pretty upstanding individual, hardworking man, a married man. He's not a Christian. He is someone that is vocal, is bold, controversial. I respect everything about him. I just don't like the fact that he be on there dissing Trump, calling him these, you know, what does he call him? Trompito or trompa? I forgot what he calls him. Some stupid name. I can't stand hearing him say it. But that's why I don't subscribe to his channel. Every now and then, of course, I go look, see if he got any good content. It might pop up on my feed, whatever. But I'm not a subscriber to his channel. I don't support him. That's just my stance, and you ain't gotta like it. Anyways, American Cholo was barely on Tony A's podcast, on his show. He comes on to American Cholo show, and they just dropped this video. And this is where Tony A finally lets the floodgates open about the whole case, y'all. What I'm gonna say about this, my review of this, without having all the facts right in front of my face. I watched the video today, so it is fresh. I watched the whole thing, right? Very captivating to the very end. I'm gonna give American Cholo that. I'm gonna tell him right now, Gil, you got me on that thumbnail because the description was Tony A drops a bomb or something like that. And right there, I was hooked, and I already knew what they were gonna talk about. It was in the second segment of the interview. The first part, he talks about his upbringing and the NWA. Gil does a very good job interviewing Tony A the Wizard, right? But the second segment is where they go into what everybody wants to hear about, the rape case / allegations. Quick run through is there was never criminal charges pressed against Tony A. There was insufficient evidence that the girl, Sandy, did not show to the investigators or police. Tony A was very thorough. He had the paperwork lined up. He had what he was going to say lined up. You could tell he does not like this woman. Who would, right? He's not happy with her. He's not forgiving her. The point is, they are not happy with this woman. So he goes to American Cholo's podcast and sits down with Gil and lays it all on the line. Now, American Cholo made a good point, and I said it earlier. Not everybody's going to believe him, or they're going to believe what they want. And to be honest, I'm going to be completely honest. My whole stance with this is, I'm going to tell you right now, Tony A had a great case. I mean, he went to court. All the jurors went in his favor that he did not do this. Everything went basically perfectly for his case. I'm going to be honest, y'all. With the case like this, it's always in your mind. There's always in my mind like a what if, or, you know what I'm saying? And I got to be honest, I ain't hating on Tony A. And I know he said it too, that if you doubted him or you believed her from the beginning, whatever, don't follow him, or he got basically something against people that believed her. But hey, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a man. I just still think there's a shadow above the guy, even though he went to court. And say what you want about me, I'm just being honest. But I'll get to that when I wrap it up. He basically lays out the whole case. He has permission from his lawyer to talk about the case on the show, and he does. You want a good, entertaining episode with a bunch of juice and a bunch of facts and hearsay and opinion, whatever you want to call it, go check out the interview in the comments again. I'll go ahead and tag the video if possible. and they explain it very well. Tony A is very calculated in what he says. The first thing I thought about when he was talking to American Cholo was, do not blink. This guy was straight-faced, giving a great case to defend him and his son. You know, I feel bad for his son. His son got involved. You know, you look at it two ways. Either it happened or didn't happen, okay? That's the way I'm going to look at it. If it did happen, sounds like a horrible situation, the way the woman put it, that she was raped on a couch in a little studio with three men. Even that kind of sounds far-fetched, to be honest, but that's what she alleged. So either it really did happen and he was there with his son and they were passing this woman along, God forbid, how wicked, right? Or like Tony A saying, it was completely false. She's a liar. He has evidence. He says that she's done this many times, that she tried to even get Kid Frost, one of the biggest rappers in the Hispanic genre, caught up also. Her whole plan was to use Tony A to get the interview out there to expose Kid Frost. Bombshell info right there, right? He believes that's why she was around him, trying to get clout, trying to get interviewed in order to expose Kid Frost. That was the words out of her mouth. Basically, he painted her in the light of a groupie, an unstable woman that had surgery for a brain tumor. There's a lot of weird facts about the case. She put him months after she says that he raped her. She put him as some kind of a beneficiary or someone to call after she gets a surgery for a tumor, something like that. Very weird. And I even thought too, to be honest, to play devil's advocate, why would she be doing all this stuff? If Tony A really didn't know her that well or didn't like her or deal with her that much, or to me, it sounds like he tried to downplay his relationship with her on the show. That's just my opinion. Why would she do this? Why would she list him as a beneficiary? That was kind of weird and odd, right? But another weird thing was she did this a month after she claims the rape happened. So, but again, I'm not a rape expert. I don't know how this works, that if people can still trust people after they get raped by them. I don't know. So anyways, there's some weird things, I believe. Maybe I would say inconsistencies, but I think Tony A, and he's pretty smart, right? He didn't really explain too much about his relationship with her. He said that he just, everything that he would text her, he was made sure that he didn't get caught up with what he was telling her or whatever, because she screenshots. She's that kind of female, y'all, that will basically get you caught up, screenshot you, screen record you. You know what I'm saying? Get you caught up somehow. And I believe Tony A is probably married. It's another kind of weird thing. I never really hear Tony A talk about his marriage whatsoever, but maybe it went past me. I don't know. But I know he's a family man. He has a son and a family and a house. So anyways, he basically, in my opinion, downplayed a lot of their relationship. And out there being together or seeing each other, he denies it. I don't know if she was just a groupie that was just stuck on him and the fame and trying to be on the show. I don't know. But evidently she was around them from almost the beginning of the podcast. He claims she just was like a bugaboo groupie. She claims on one of her videos that she would always buy them beer. That kind of woman, y'all, bring the beer, you know, and go to the studio with the guys. And again, to me, that's a recipe for disaster, to have a woman, alcohol, and a bunch of men around. You know what I'm saying? Unless you party or whatever. But I'm just saying it's not a good look, to be honest. So anyways, Tony A is explaining all of this, how she's crazy, she's psycho. And to give Gil, American Cholo, some props, he did kind of basically play devil's advocate and ask Tony harder questions. Or when Tony tried to, you know, sit there and say that she was lying or whatever, American Cholo, I remember he'd be like, not really defending her, but kind of like hitting them with a point like, well, you say this, but the way she thinks, you know what I'm saying, or the way it looks, you know what I mean? Like the way American Cholo interviewed Tony, I think he did a good job, because he just didn't let Tony A go in there and slander this woman or say whatever he wanted about the woman. He did say what he wanted, basically, but American Cholo had great rebuttals, questions. You know what I'm saying? He did a very good job as far as not being biased. He gives his perspective at the end, and I'll share that with you also. But again, a lot of what Tony A said, you know, I could tell he's hurt. He's mad. He's not happy with the woman, right? And of course, he's biased. He don't like her. His son don't like her. I wouldn't probably like the woman, right? So he does come across as berating her, not really explaining his whole relationship with her, which again, that really don't matter though, right? I mean, that's just my point of view. The point is, he has his paperwork out there. He's explaining the whole case. He has dates. This guy, thorough. So thorough, it's not surprising that he won the case. In the story is, He won the case. No juror believed the woman, basically. It was a civil case, not criminal. He was never criminally charged. He was never handcuffed, arrested, or anything. It was a civil case. Basically, he says it was all about the money. Now, I don't know how true that is in my perspective, because basically from what it seems like, this woman, Sandy, could not give enough evidence to get him charged. She did try after a couple of months of whatever. I think it might even been a year after she went to the police. She probably tried. If there was something that happened, maybe she didn't have the evidence or it was too long. I don't know. She tried, in my opinion, too late. It just looked bad on her that she didn't go to the hospital or to the police right after it happened, right? She went way down the line. And Tony A has the paperwork from the city of Los Angeles saying they're not going to pursue him for no charges because there was no evidence presented from Sandy. All this was disclosed in the court proceedings. She was put on the witness stand. There's a lot of details about pics circulating and videos, a bunch of hearsay. He did get in trouble. He did post a sexual pic of her on his story on Instagram for a couple hours, took it down. That bit him in the butt in the end. We'll talk about that in a minute. Basically, it was a big court proceeding. They went to court. She couldn't prove anything. The way he made it seem is that she's basically a crazy woman that's scorned, right? That does this to a lot of men, and it's always trying to seduce men, always trying to blackmail men, especially rappers in California. And he had a strong enough case right there in court to win. And then with American Cholo, he had all his paperwork. And even still, I'm telling you, y'all, that's how devastating these kind of allegations are. Even still, I'm telling you, I still have my doubts. Now, did he rape her? To be honest, I don't think there was rape that happened. If anything, to be honest, right? Did she get drunk and get loose, and have relations with a couple guys that night? That's like what more I would lean towards. And then she goes later and says that he raped her. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying maybe if anything were to happen, maybe that might be the case because they did drink over there, right? That's what Gil even told him, man. I did see y'all drinking a lot on the podcast. Did y'all ever drink afterwards? And I ain't gonna lie, it looked kind of bad. Tony said, yeah, but I would never stay over 20 minutes drinking. And to be honest, y'all, as a man, someone with the studio that used to drink and party and everything, y'all, in the studio, take it, I was a married man. I never had women around. But, I mean, when the studio session's going, you're drinking and smoking. When the studio session's over, you're still drinking and smoking. You be there for hours. So him saying that he would leave the studio within 20 minutes of it being over, I mean, I guess you have to believe him. That's his word for it. But, again, coming from experience, studio sessions can just go on for how... We used to go on runs for days, y'all, living wild and drinking and all that, everybody. The little back house of my parents where my wife would be in the front with my kids. I'd be in the back, doing sessions, and sometimes we'd party for days on end, y'all, and that's just being honest. So I kind of saw Tony A's story from a different perspective, being someone with the studio, someone used to that kind of lifestyle somewhat. But again, y'all, he won the case. And I ain't trying to sit here and apologize for my opinion. This is my opinion. If Tony A and them get mad or someone makes a video about me, I don't really give a flip. This is just my honest opinion. I'm speaking to the camera, doing some quick content, y'all, because it was an amazing, entertaining interview. And Tony A got a lot off his chest. And to be honest, right? I mean, hey, he beat the case. So, innocent until proven guilty. The man is innocent. Again, when Gil, American Cholo, gives his final thoughts, I ain't gonna lie, I got a feeling he probably thinks like me. There's some kind of probably negative thoughts in his mind. But hey, Tony A's right in front of him with the paperwork. He beat the case. What else can American Cholo or me, what can you say? You can't really say nothing because he beat the case. He didn't get arrested. He didn't go to prison. All the jurors did not believe the woman. Again, I know these kind of women, y'all. Family, friends, sisters, right? Women that are seductive, women that manipulate people, women that are loose, easy, like to drink, like to do drugs, like to party. Like I said, how promiscuous she was or is, I don't know. But from the way I looked at it, hey, women like that are who the Bible warns about. Women like that are who men should stay far from because these are the kind of problems they will give you. I guarantee you, Tony A learned a big lesson from this, and so did his son and everybody around him. Be careful who you let around you, and be careful who you let in your inner circle. You know what I'm saying? So again, American Cholo says, hey man, you laid it out on the line. You're innocent. You know, he even said, a lot of people still going to believe you did it. That's just how people are. They're going to defend her. They're always going to believe the woman. It's a sad fact. But like Tony A said, he claims women like her are the reason why real rape victims are not believed. Also, he said that he showed the video because she released a video. It's on YouTube right now. He said she has to take it down because she lost the case. She hasn't done it. I just saw it right now. But on her video, he said that he sent this to 3 ladies, rape victims, and each of them said that they didn't believe her. There's something about a rape victim that another rape victim can relate to. All 3 women, Tony A says, is his word for it, they did not feel the connection. She did not give the inclination that what she was saying was true. So Tony A says that people like her make it hard for rape victims to be believed. Him and his son, when American Cholo asked, because they make fun of this woman on the show, supposedly, people in the comments, they call her names, they berate her. American Cholo says, I haven't seen that, but I'm pretty sure Gil ain't lying. Gil told them, is there any way y'all can get past this? You already won the case. Can you forgive her? Whatever. Tony A said basically no. His son said no, that they're going to actually, I wouldn't say go harder, but they're going to hold people like that accountable. Like, how many people has this woman done this to and blackmailed, right? And that people like her need to be exposed. This is what Tony A and his son basically said. They're not going to back down. They're basically going to stand up for men that are getting falsely accused in America. And hey, that's their prerogative. It's all good. I mean, that's good if that's the case, right? So again, I watched the video. Hey, I'm just blabbering on right now, y'all, but it was a very good video. I listened to it while I was at work driving my 18-wheeler, and I'm telling you, it's about a 2-hour video. I watched the whole thing. I'm going to admit it, y'all. I had a good long drive today, and like I said, I'm not a fan of American Cholo as far as our politics, and that puts a divide between me and him. If it wasn't for that, y'all, I think the guy's pretty conservative. He's basically, you know, just like me, right? But his politics are on a different level. He's more raza and Hispanic power and all that. I'm not down with none of that. I don't care about this skin color. Maybe that's the difference between me and him. I'm a Christian. He's not. So I don't put no pride in my flesh. I don't care about being Mexican or brown pride. I don't care about none of that. No disrespect to Mexico or Mexicans, none of that, y'all. But I was born in America, USA, all the way. I'm a Trumper, and me and American Cholo are just split along that political ideology line right there, y'all. And that's just being honest. But again, I would like to probably do a follow-up on this, right, with better facts in front of me. But like I said, watch the video for yourself. Tony A is being interviewed by American Cholo. He got it lined up right there with the paperwork, entertaining, informative. There's passion from Tony A. He's upset. He's been done wrong. To be honest, I would like to see what this woman would say now. You know, I wonder if she's going to start speaking up. He said that she has to take down the video. He won his case for defamation. But what happened is he was found not guilty of these, you know, allegations. He was given $10,000 in, you know, restitution, or, you know, basically for her defaming him. He got $10,000 for defamation, right, from her. She got $40,000 from him, and she's claiming that she won. Reason being, it's not because of sexual picture. I almost messed up saying that. It's actually because he posted information about, I believe, her address or something, some kind of personal information that the jury, right, thought that was basically harassment, or, you know, some kind of a reason to get $40,000. She got $40,000 off of him, not for the sexual pic that he reposted, not because they believe that he did anything to her. He has to pay $40,000 due to him sharing some picture online with some of her information on there. So they took that very serious. They even said the picture of her doing something sexual, they didn't even care about that picture. They got him for sharing a picture of personal information of hers, either address, full name, phone number. I forgot exactly what it was, but enough for them to award her $40K. So to be honest, I think she won. She got what she wanted. She got a payday. I mean, minus the $10,000 she has to pay him, she's getting 30 G's, y'all. So with saying that, I'm just giving my commentary and opinion on the whole situation. Again, I told you why I believe I can do so. Hey, it's public. It's a free world, free country. I've been following Tony A for a long time. I appreciate his show. I was intrigued from the beginning when this woman came out with allegations. Crazy, right? And then he had drama with some rappers. They got in touch with her. They were all basically going on a anti-Tony A run. It was interesting to watch. Let's see if he can put this behind him now, since he did win his case. Hopefully he moves forward. And to be honest, I feel kind of bad that, you know, I looked at him a little negative. I look at him, I ain't gonna lie, probably a little bit less negative. But I'm gonna tell you, y'all, when a woman gives you those allegations, y'all, it just puts that bad shadow upon you, you know? And I'm not sitting here saying that I believe that he raped her. He proved in court, right, that he didn't do it in the court. Now, anything else that happened, y'all, whatever, I don't know. I'm just saying that loose women like that need to be avoided at all costs. He beat the case. He did a very good job presenting everything. And American Cholo did a great job with the interview. I give them props, y'all. Again, this is just my take on it. Hopefully, I might do another video on this, or I might not. Who knows? See how this one does. But again, y'all, that's just my opinion on the Tony A and American Cholo sit-down interview that I watched today. I did watch that woman's videos in the past, and I'll be looking forward to any other videos she might release in the future, because I'm pretty sure she has something to say. She has a podcast, she has a channel. She's somewhat of a, you know, social media person. So it's gonna be interesting, her take on it. But again, Tony A beat the case in a court of law on a civil trial. So what can you say at this point? Thanks for watching, y'all. Again, I'm gonna put the links in the bottom here. Check it out. Very interesting. And thank you for watching if you stayed all the way to the end. You're an American, you're a patriot, you got grit. Act like it. I'm out.